When someone feels overwhelmed, we often expect them to reach out, to talk, to explain, to ask for help. But many people do the opposite. They go quiet, they pull away, they create distance, emotionally or physically. And from the outside, it can feel confusing or even hurtful. So why do people withdraw when they're overwhelmed, especially from the people they care about most? Pulling away during overwhelm isn't a conscious choice. It's a nervous system response. When stress exceeds someone's capacity to cope, the brain prioritizes survival over connection. This can look like shutting down emotionally, becoming quiet or distant, avoiding conversations, needing space without explanation. Psychologically, this is known as a freeze or shutdown response. It's not about rejecting others, it's about reducing stimulation. Overwhelm happens when demands exceed resources, decisions pile up, emotional load becomes constant, or expectations feel inescapable. When this happens, the brain struggles to process information, articulate feelings, regulate emotions. Communication becomes effortful. So instead of explaining how they feel, the overwhelmed person withdraws, not because they don't care, but because they can't engage at full capacity. From the outside, withdrawal often gets misinterpreted. Silence looks like indifference. Distance looks like rejection. Avoidance looks like avoidance of you. But internally, the person pulling away may be thinking, I don't have the energy to explain. I don't want to make this worse. I can't handle another emotional demand. Withdrawal isn't the absence of feeling, it's the presence of too much. Attachment patterns strongly influence how people respond to overwhelm. People with avoidant attachment often learned early that emotions were safest when handled alone. So under stress, their instinct is to retreat. People with anxious attachment may withdraw too, not because they don't want closeness, but because they fear being too much or being rejected. Even securely attached people can withdraw when stress becomes chronic. Withdrawal isn't exclusive to one attachment style. It's a human response to overload. One of the hardest parts of overwhelm is losing access to language. Under stress, emotional vocabulary shrinks. Thoughts become fragmented. Expressing feelings feels impossible. So when someone says, I don't know how to explain it, they're often telling the truth. Withdrawal becomes the simplest way to protect themselves from saying the wrong thing or saying too much. Pulling away can be a form of self-protection. When overwhelmed, people may withdraw to avoid conflict, prevent emotional escalation, regain control, reduce pressure, or stabilize internally. This doesn't mean withdrawal is always healthy, but it does mean it's rarely malicious. Most of the time, it's an attempt to cope, not an attempt to punish or push someone away. Even though withdrawal is protective for one person, it can be painful for the other. Distance creates uncertainty. Silence invites interpretation. Lack of reassurance amplifies anxiety. This is how cycles form. One person pulls away to cope, the other reaches out for clarity. Pressure increases, withdrawal deepens. Without understanding, both people feel unsafe, just in different ways. Chronic overwhelm often overlaps with burnout. When emotional reserves are depleted, connection starts to feel like effort rather than nourishment. People don't pull away because they don't care. They pull away because they have nothing left to give. This is why overwhelmed people may isolate even from those they love. It's not about desire, it's about capacity. Telling an overwhelmed person to just talk often increases pressure, because talking requires clarity, emotional energy regulation, and vulnerability. When those resources are low, being asked to communicate can feel overwhelming in itself. Withdrawal isn't solved by demand, it's eased by safety. When people pull away under stress, it doesn't usually mean they don't care. It means they're overwhelmed. Withdrawal is often a sign of emotional overload, reduced capacity, nervous system strain, and unmet needs. Understanding this doesn't mean accepting distance forever, but it does change the story from they don't care to they're struggling to cope. And that shift alone can reduce a lot of pain. Thanks for watching MindLens, where we explore why we think, feel, and act the way we do. Subscribe for more animated psychology explainers.